Essence of Christian character and the fruits of the Spirit. Christian character and the fruits of the Spirit are two inseparable aspects of a believer's life. They represent the tangible evidence of a transformed heart, a life that has been touched and molded by the grace of God. But what does it mean to possess Christian character? And how do the fruits of the Spirit manifest in our daily lives? Let's embark on this journey to explore these concepts in a way that's not only relatable, but also engaging, possibly even challenging, how you view your walk with God. What is Christian character? Christian character is the outward expression of a deep inner faith. It's not just about following a set of rules or adhering to a list of do's and don'ts. It's about embodying the teachings of Christ in everything you do. Imagine being a living, breathing example of love, humility, patience, and kindness. This is what Christian character looks like, a life that reflects the heart of Jesus. But let's be real. Developing Christian character isn't easy. It's not a walk in the park. In fact, it can feel like climbing a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. Why? Because it requires you to go against the grain of what society often promotes. Selfishness, pride, instant gratification, and a me-first mentality. Christian character demands the opposite. It asks you to put others before yourself, to forgive when you'd rather hold a grudge, and to love when hate would be so much easier. The struggle is real. The struggle to develop Christian character is real. If you've ever tried to be patient when you're stuck in traffic, you know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you've tried to hold your tongue when someone says something hurtful. How hard was that? It's easy to talk about Christian character in theory, but when it comes to practice, it's a whole different ballgame. Here's the thing. Developing Christian character is a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It's about making small, consistent choices every day to follow Christ's example. It's about asking yourself, what would Jesus do? Not just as a cliche, but as a genuine guide for your action. The fruits of the Spirit, evidence of Christian character. Fruits of the Spirit, as described in Galatians 5:22-23, are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are just nice words to put on a poster or to recite in Sunday school. They are the evidence of a life transformed by the Holy Spirit. They are the markers of Christian character. Love, the foundation of Christian character. Let's start with love. Love is the cornerstone of Christian character. Without love, the rest of the fruits of the Spirit are impossible to. But let's be clear, this isn't the romantic feel-good love that's often portrayed in movies. This is agape love, kind of love that is selfless, sacrificial, and unconditional. It's the love that Jesus demonstrated when he laid down his life for. Loving others in this way isn't always easy. In fact, it can be downright difficult. How do you love someone who has hurt you? How do you love someone who is unlovable? The answer lies in understanding that love is a choice, not just a feeling. It's choosing to see people the way God sees them, as valuable, worthy of grace, and deserving of love. When you choose to love others, even when it's hard, you're reflecting the character of Christ. Joy beyond circumstance. Next up is joy. Now, joy is often confused with happiness, but the two are not the same. Happiness is dependent on circumstances. When things are going well, you're happy. But joy is different. Joy is a deep-seated sense of contentment and peace. It comes from knowing that God is in control, no matter what's happening around you. You can have joy even in the midst of trials. Imagine going through a difficult time. Maybe you've lost your job, or you're dealing with a health issue. It's natural to feel upset or anxious, but joy comes from the assurance that God is with you in the storm. It's the confidence that He's working all things together for your good. Joy is not about denying the reality of your circumstances. It's about trusting God in the midst of peace, a quiet confidence. Peace is another fruit of the Spirit that is often misunderstood. Many people think of peace as the absence of conflict or trouble, but in the Christian context, peace is much more than that. It's a quiet confidence that God is in control, even when life feels chaotic. It's the ability to remain calm in the face of adversity, because you know that God's got that. Peace doesn't mean that you won't face challenges or difficulties. It means that when you do, you can face them with a sense of calm and assurance, knowing that God is with you. It's about trusting that His plan is perfect, even when it doesn't make sense to you. Patience, waiting well. Patience is a tough one. In our fast-paced world, waiting is often seen as a waste of time. We want what we want, and we want it now. But patience is a key aspect of Christian character. It's about waiting well, whether you're waiting for a prayer to be answered, waiting for a dream to be fulfilled, or waiting for someone to change. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait, even when it doesn't align with your own. It's about believing that God's plan is worth the wait. Kindness and goodness. Reflecting God's love. Kindness and goodness often go hand in hand. They are about treating others with the same grace, compassion, and love God has shown to you. Kindness is about showing love in action, whether it's a smile, a helping hand, or a word of encouragement. Goodness, on the other hand, is about living a life of integrity and moral excellence. It's about doing the right thing, even when it's hard or when no one is watching. In a world that can often be harsh and unforgiving, kindness and goodness are like refreshing springs of water. They reflect the heart of God and draw others to Him. When you choose to be kind and good, you're not just making the world a better place, you're showing people what God is like. Faithfulness, steadfast commitment. Faithfulness is about being reliable, trustworthy, and steadfast. It's about keeping your commitments, both to God and to others. In a culture that often values convenience over commitment, faithfulness stands out. It's about being consistent in your walk with God, even when it's hard. It's about staying true to your word, even when it's inconvenient. Being faithful means showing up, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It's about being there for others, supporting them, and walking alongside them in their journey of faith. Faithfulness is a reflection of God's own faithfulness to us. He is always with us, always for us, always faithful to His promises. Gentleness, strength under control. Gentleness is often misunderstood as weakness, but it's actually a sign of strength. It's about having the power to hurt others but choosing not to. It's about responding to others with grace, even when they don't deserve it. Gentleness is strength.